Hello and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be going back to talking about theme parks. It's been a little while since I've done a YouTube video about coasters or theme parks here on this channel, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. Specifically, I'll be talking about 3 attractions over at Alton Towers, which for those who don't know is a theme park located here in the United Kingdom that I enjoy but will not wait in a long line for. Now, before beginning this video, I do just want to say that I in no way despise or hate any of the 3 attractions I'll be discussing in today's video. It's just, in my opinion, they're not worth me waiting in a long line for. I also appreciate that different people will have different thoughts on how long is too long to wait for an attraction at any theme park. But for me personally, anything over around the 25-minute mark would be far too long for me to wait for these specific attractions. So do you have any attractions that you enjoy but just wouldn't wait too long in a line for? Let me know in the comment section down below. But with that, let's just get into the video. Number 1, Rita. Rita opened at Alton Towers originally entitled Rita, Queen of Speed back in April of 2005, and honestly it did open to some disappointment. Many thought the coaster would have benefited from at least an inversion or 2, and many also thought that Alton Towers should have really opted for a faster launch in order to compete with similar attractions around this time. But Rita is the park's launch coaster. It was manufactured by Intamin and it is powered by a hydraulic launch system. The ride was installed in the section of the park called Ugland until 2010, when Ugland was rethemed to the Dark Forest. With the change from Ugland to the Dark Forest, the backstory for Rita was also changed along with some other minor details, including the cars getting a new design. The story goes that the track of Rita was a disused racetrack until work on the Dark Forest began and the site was being excavated, and this disturbance was said to have brought the track back to life. Long story short, riders now use Rita as a last escape attempt in order to escape from the Dark Forest. Rita launches riders from 0 to 60 miles an hour in around 2.5 seconds, having put them through around 4.7 Gs throughout the duration of the ride. I honestly do enjoy this ride and don't really have anything particularly bad to say about it, other than I just think Alton Towers really seemed to rush this to get it open. But that in no way means that it's, a terrible ride or anything. It's just a ride that I wouldn't wait more than 20-25 minutes for it. And in my opinion, Alton Towers need to create a little more of an atmosphere within the Dark Forest section of the park itself. It does look a little bit bare when you walk around it. And honestly, I just think it's the poorest themed section of the park. But we're going to move on now to number 2 on my list, which is Galactica, formerly Air. Galactica originally opened to the theme park as Air in 2002. The thing about this ride is that I would have very happily waited for it prior to its retheming, when it was called Air, for around half an hour, maybe a little bit more. However, since its retheming and its virtual reality update back in 2016 when it became Galactica, my opinion of this ride changed dramatically. Now, if you've been here with me on this channel before, you may be already aware of my thoughts on virtual reality, but for those that aren't aware, here we go. Basically, for me, I find virtual reality a complete waste of technology, and I do not in any way believe that it is the future of theme park attractions. It's, in my opinion, a little bit of a gimmick. I realise that here in 2019, Alton Towers actually rarely ever use the virtual reality headsets on Galactica anymore, and I'm not really too sure why that is, so if you are aware of why they don't use them too much anymore, then please let me know. Are they broken? Are they perhaps, having some updates done, some improvements done, or do they just have quite a few problems with them? Because to be honest, most times that I have been to Alton Towers since Galactica opened up, I've only seen the VR run a few times, a small handful of times. So yeah, just let me know why that is if you do know. Honestly, to me though, this is another attraction that did seem rushed when it was going through its retheming. I remember following it a little bit when it was first getting ready to open as Air back in 2002. There was this hype and love around it, and it really did seem like they put a lot of time and effort into creating Air. And then when it transformed into Galactica, it felt very rushed for me, this transformation into Galactica. And I feel like Alton Towers were just focusing on, oh, this new trend is VR, we need to get this VR into the park somehow. And unfortunately, Air was their victim in that. But anyways, at the end of the day, when this B&M flying coaster first opened as Air, there was so much love for the ride. In the present day, I do think that it is looking a little bit like it just needs some love, some TLC. Again, for me, I don't hate this coaster as much as I've just absolutely slammed it because of the VR on it. I mean, it is important to mention that you do have the option to ride this ride without the VR anyways. It's a fabulous ride, just without the VR, you know. For me, with the VR, it's just an average coaster. And I do hope that Alton Towers is planning to give it just some love and to really bring it back into what it should be. As it is, it's just a sorry state compared to what it used to be as Air. Moving on now to the final attraction that we're going to be discussing in today's video, and that is Spinball Whizzer. Now, Spinball Whizzer is very fun for all the family, and it opened at the park back in 2004 and has previously been themed to Sonic the Hedgehog, and that was a temporary theming between 2010 and 2016, and it was named Sonic Spinball temporarily. This ride, it just has me laughing all the way around it. It's fun, it has some good re-rideability because how much your car will spin depends entirely on many factors like how many people are in the car with you and the total weight within the car itself. However, it just isn't a ride that I would wait longer than around 15-20 minutes for. Every single time that I've been to Alton Towers, whether that be in high or low season, this ride seems to always have a line of around 40 minutes. And unfortunately, if both this ride and Nemesis, for example, had a 40-minute wait time, I would much rather wait for Nemesis than Spinball Whizzer. To be honest, I don't think this ride has a line which can move quickly because Spinball Whizzer doesn't really have a good capacity level, which is why the line for this family spinning coaster can get long quite quickly, regardless of what time of the year you visit Alton Towers. However, saying that, it's a fabulous little ride for families with younger kids who perhaps are a little too old to be enjoying the attractions over at CBeebies Land, but they're perhaps not quite ready for the massive thrills of the park like Nemesis or Oblivion, for example. The bottom line for this is that it's a fun little ride that I would do with no doubts if it had like a 10 to 15, even 20-minute wait time. But really, it's a ride that I can and will miss out on if it is consistently having a long line throughout my time at the park. So that is my list of 3 attractions over at Alton Towers that I do enjoy but just wouldn't wait in a long line for. Do you agree with my list? What would be on your list? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave it a thumbs up. If you're new here, click on that subscribe button, and I very much hope to see you in my next video.